I'm Pat Stafford, and I'm the general manager at DBAT Virginia Beach. Probably ever since, realistically, 4 or 5. So, quote unquote, as a player, coach, all the above, 30 years. Coaching wise, this would be my 14th year. It's pretty hard. It's a hard sport, but it's what baseball is a sport that really, just like most sports, teaches a lot of life skills. It's a sport where you have to put in all this work, knowing there's a chance you might not be successful, but you keep putting in this work for the one time that you are successful. And that one time you are successful makes everything worth it, which kind of translates a lot to life in general. Because in life, a lot of times you work, and sometimes you're still not successful, and having the perseverance to be able to continue to move forward. That's what I really love about the game. It really teaches you and gives you a good, strong foundation, especially at a younger level, to develop the skills for life later on. Well, it's a big part of my day-to-day life. So I do it every day for a living. So it's kind of funny. I'm typically not one of those guys that watches a lot of baseball. I'll have people come in and talk to me about, hey, you see the game last night, this and that. And most of the time I don't, because I feel like I get the opportunity to live it on a day-to-day basis. So I may not be watching every game on TV. I would almost rather be involved in every game on TV, to a sense. But just because it's a job. It's a fun job, and just because of that, majority of my time is spent around the game and involved with the game of baseball. I've been able to take 2 high school programs that notoriously wasn't the greatest, and been able to make them into very respectable programs. And one thing not many people get to do at all is help start a collegiate team. So when I was at Camp Community College, so starting that was a whole different level of experience. Coaching in the Coastal Plain League with the Peninsula Pilots, that was also a fun experience. One of the greatest memories I'll have is getting a chance to coach against the Savannah Bananas when they were in the Coastal Plain League in 2018. So we got to go down there. We got to play against Savannah in Savannah. So that was another cool experience that I'll get to share. And a lot of experiences I get here now is even different, to where, walking here in here at DBAT, that we have kids that come in and said, hey, we worked for 6 months and now we've just made the All-Star team for the first time. So that's a cool experience I get to hear now too. All the way to having professional athletes come in here and getting to keep track of them, as they move on through their career. So it's, different levels and different jobs. I've always had great experience, and those are some of them. It's sharing the experiences that help me grow as a person in life. So this game's a fun game. There's so much fun to be had in this game, and when the teams I've coached, I've always talked about the fun is in the competition. So whether it's you're competing against your team, or you're competing against yourself to make yourself better, you're competing against your friend to make your friend better. So now for me, it's just being able to share, especially in the position I am now. I'm not necessarily on the field coaching, is, definitely want to be a resource for other players and other families and even other coaches, to where I can share with them the stuff that helped me excel in this game, to help them excel in this game too.
So there was never a dip in the talent and the way the team played from those 2 World Series. Obviously there were 4 World Series appearances. There were just 2 wins, but the team continued to be the best, one of the best in the league, and super, super talented. And the personnel changed greatly. Like every year there was a lot of changes to who came in that would affect the way the team looked and played. Of course, there was a core group of guys, but I think what for me me, as someone who's lived through the good, the bad, and the ugly, especially when the team was really, really, really bad, bad, to do it so quickly and to win in 2017, but then to continue to have the success and like continue to win despite adversity and all the things going on around them, losing some humongous players like Carlos Correa, George Springer, those guys left and the team continued to win and be the best, I think was the most impressive. In 2021, or actually I should say in 2019, it was just an epic heartbreak for the Astros and the way that they lost and getting to Game 7 and losing in the towards the end of that game. But then to kind of like battle back through a COVID season and have a great year there as well, but then to get back to the World Series in 2021 said a lot about them. 2021 was a year where they just kind of ran out of pitching. Eventually the injuries will get you. It was one of those things. So when you look back, you're like, God, they were such a good team. However, at the end, they just didn't have the best version of themselves on the field, and the Atlanta Braves were the hottest team in the whole universe. And then to turn around and go back, and then put together just like a really all-around great season, stay healthy, all the things came together for them, and it was just, it meant a lot. It meant a lot for the guys who, had been with the team through all the years, who had listened to all the reports, who had watched all the media, who had been booed all the years. No, I think it was a great feeling for everyone, but for those who were close to it, I mean, that was just a product of them being great and them being the best team at that time. We didn't really think of it as any other way than just like the Astros being on top of the game for so long that eventually they were going to take home another World Series title. I've been extremely blessed. I mean, I am such good friends with people around the league, counterparts. I've worked in this business a long time, and it's funny. People give me a hard time because they've covered teams for 20 years and have never seen a no-hitter. I've seen 5. So
wow.
It's like I've witnessed some really incredible things happen with this team. It was kind of like lightning in a bottle the last 7 years, and there's no signs that they'll slow down at this point. But yeah, 4 appearances to the World Series, and then the other 2 years going to the American League Championship Series. All of that is historic. Like, the era that we're in Houston is historic, and it's kind of hard to be on the outside looking in. It's hard when you're in it to really appreciate what they're doing. As a broadcast team, it's our job to continue to remind fans how good they are and who they kind of compared to. And I remember in some of the seasons we were comparing them to like Yankees team of the 1920s, like teams that had never been touched or their numbers had never been anything close to, and the Astros were doing it. So I try to just like take a second every once in a while and like really appreciate the world that I'm living in right now with this era, because you always say it's not going to last forever. Sometimes it only lasts a couple of seasons. We've been so lucky that it's lasted this long, but at some point things start to change, other teams start to get better, whatever. So it is important to really appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, we're just watching Justin Verlander and having a front row seat to a Hall of Fame career like that. Jose Altuve is just reaching milestone after milestone as he continues to collect hits. I could go on. It's like every player that has come through in this era, especially the core guys, are just putting together careers that are going to be unmatched and really hard to match for years to come. So, like the Hall of Fame for the Astros is going to be very, very crowded one day when it gets to that. I'm just blessed to have had a front row seat to it.
So my name is Casey Kadire, and I play baseball here at Great Bridge. I played shortstop, and I played since I was able to pick up a bat, basically. When I started playing t-ball, I really loved it. I just loved having like a team and having friends around me, and always being on the move. I was able to rely on my teammates and having like a team that I could just have friends with. It's exciting being in a Major League Stadium. There's so many cool different things, and growing up with players, I was able to go in the locker room after wins for my dad's team. So growing up with those guys was always cool to have role models. When I was younger, I thought it was just like the everyday thing because I was only 5 years old when I was in the All-Star game. So I mean, pulling it apart now, I obviously see it as a cool experience, but I didn't really know what it was back then because I just thought it was part of the normal. But it's obviously a really cool opportunity that I had when I was younger.